We've got Umais versus Zesty, the Empire of Man versus the Greenskin Menace. And I think he even picked... I think Zesty even picked the flag of the tribe that's to the north with Middenheim, whatever. And Boris Todbringer's fighting them. So the only more lore accurate this could get to the campaign would be if the Empire flag was actually the Midland flag with the blue wolf. Otherwise, this is about as good as it gets here for a campaign matchup. For the Empire, we have 2 war wagons, a pistolier. Do we have more pistoliers? No, just one. One. Basic archers, and then we have great swords, dread spears, too used to casting dark elves. Great swords, spearmen, halberdiers, and then a gold wizard with just Searing Doom and Boris Todbringer on his griffin mount. On the other side for the Greenskins, we have Savage Orc War Boys, Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, some Skirmish Cav, the ROR, Morgars Major Marauders, 2 Goblin Rock Lobbers, one of which is the Hammer of Gork, and then we have Orc ROR Boys, the Swamp Things River Patrol ROR, Night Goblin War Boss with his Rampage and Net, Goblin Big Boss with They Need Stabbin', and the Night Goblins and Goblin front lines. The Night Goblins are both Spinning Loon variants. And we do have a Orc Caster with Brainburster, Here We Go, and Gaze of Mork. As I'm fighting the remnants of a cough, I may occasionally have to clear my throat. Let me clear my throat. In comes an overcasted Searing Doom, trying to predict where the Night Goblins will be, trying to do a lot of damage to them nice and early so they can't use those Spinning Loons because they can only use them above a certain health threshold. So we'll see how many of those guys are going to get going. The 8 Peak Loons also trying to find a fight. They find some War Wagons accidentally. They'll love that. They'll take that fight. As long as the War Wagons stay here. War Wagons are going to start to kite away, though. Should be fine. The Goblin Rock Lobbers are just chucking away. I generally think this unit sucks, and I hate it, but we'll see. Fermented Fungi... Huh? Anybody else see that Fermented Fungi just not rampage the Pistoliers? Because I did. All right. Immune to Rampage Pistoliers just running off into the distance. You love to see it as the first wall comes out that will help the Greenskins try and get through this front line. We do have basic goblins fighting great swords. The great swords will actually win. One of the rare times that the Greenskins have a losing front line to the Empire, but taking just goblins versus great swords is going to be, you know, pretty bad for you. Here we go, buffing up the Night Goblin RR and the Night Goblin Squig Hoppers as they tear through Halberdiers. These are still Halberdiers. Your Night Goblin Squig Hoppers are going to take a lot of damage in return. Brainbursts take out some archers as well. And those Pistoliers that should be dead right now are slowly picking away Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. In comes the Savage Orc War Boys who cluster up on Boris because he attacked them. And before they can be dodged, a Searing Doom hits him in the top of the head. And Boris tear outs him off, so that was a good combo there from the Empire. Morgars Major Marauder still full HP. Both Goblin Rock Lob is still firing away, though we do have a full health greatsword that has gotten into the back line, and there's kind of no bad targets for him back here. He can kill those Orc R Boys easily. He can kill either Goblin Rock Lava. So we'll see how much damage he can get done, or if he's just going to get kited out. As the Swamp Things are actually going to be pulled back to go deal with that, while Spinning Loons go through Halberdiers and Savage Orc Boar Boys hit returning Spearmen. I believe they were returning. The River Troll ROR is going to recharge the Greatswords. They don't even see it coming as they just get ambushed by the Ladies of the Bog. And they do cause terror, so that actually should get the Greatswords routing pretty soon. Gold Wizard's out here trying to distract. He miscasts a Searing Doom. He definitely didn't mean to do that. So it's a bit of a whoopsie. And if you're like, maybe this was played on a different patch. It was not. That's just a whoopsie. They happen. War Wagon's trying to kite out the Night Goblin War Boss, but speaking of whoopsies on the other side, the Night Goblin War Boss is in way over his head as Boris just lands on him. And Night Goblin War Boss might want to back up, but it looks like he's actually just going to stick with it. Fermented Fungi reducing Boris's melee defense to 11, while Savage Orc Boar Boys pile in. And the Goblin Big Boss, I thought he would help team up on Boris. He's actually fucking off. Now he's turning around, Spite of the Bad Moon, giving him more damage and bonus versus large. Here we go, giving everybody a bunch of melee attack, and Boris is all of a sudden in a lot of trouble. In the background, the Greatswords have been peeled off, so the Greenskins all of a sudden in Ascension. They have Boris surrounded by problems, a lot of buffs, though as the momentum wears off, the Savage Orcs lose their courage, tear out away from Boris. Now Boris is left on his own as Morgars Mangy Marauders move in. Other archers I saw firing through as well, so Boris is in a lot of trouble. Those are Empire archers, maybe just some friendly fire here and there. Greenskins still have 2 catapults online. We still have a full health of Swamp Things running around, distracting things, routing Spearmen. And the 2v1 continues against Boris Todbringer. But those Pistoliers are back, the invincible ones from earlier. The War Wagons getting peeled off by Savage Orc Boar Boys and Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. And the Morgan's Mage Marauders trying to shoot at Boris, but they do array themselves in a way that blocks the War Wagons from shooting at their Lords. That is pretty crucial. Though his Lord's already routing. Now the Gold Wizard's going to chase him down, and Pistoliers trying to help out as well, diving into melee on Morgan's Mage Marauders. And the Night Goblin Big Boss is not able to keep up with Boris Toddbringer, so Boris does get up in the sky, gets to safety, and he will continue to heal. As Morgan Mage Marauders are not able to get under him and shoot upwards. They're busy fighting for their lives against the Pistoliers. Gold Wizard is chasing down the Night Goblin Big Boss, but Greenskins are incredibly ahead on the balance of power. Very, very far ahead. The Empire has the control point, and we do have some Night Goblins here to try and take it, but they're significantly damaged. So they won't be able to capture too quickly at all. Morgan's Mage Marauders, again, get caught up in the Gold Wizard. Savage Orc Boar Boys trying to side charge some Pistoliers, but Boris is back. And if the Night Goblin, who has Shattered, goes off the battlefield, all of a sudden Boris will be able to rout a lot of this Greenskin army with just how low in leadership they'll be. His compounding leadership debuffs are a huge problem for low leadership factions like Skaven and Greenskins, especially when their Lord is gone. Now, let's look around for white flags. So we already have some from the Goblins. We have more from Goblins over here. About to get another one on Morgan's Mage Marauders. And hey, look at that. Goblin Big Boss is down to 11 leadership. Boris lands on him and instantly routs him. That's going to be a big problem for our Greenskin friends. Still have 2 Rock Labas. Not a lot of ammo left on them. 7 and 5 as they're throwing at the few infantry that are left. The Empire still holds the point. Now we're in a bit of a chase sequence, so I'm going to fast forward real quick. As the Greenskins are rallying, they're just throwing rocks at the halberdiers, at these archers. Not hitting too much. Boris is slowly healing. Bounce power keeps getting better for the Empire. The Gold Wizard dives in, tries to cast a quick Searing Doom on these Orc Horror Boys who do dodge it pretty nicely. The Empire's state troops are all significantly damaged, and it looks like these Rock Labas are taking them out, keeping them from rallying. But Boris being back to nearly full health is a big problem. The Swamp Things are also at full health, though, so Boris can't land all willy-nilly. Orc Shaman's here to provide a little bit of leadership. Goblin Rock Lava is out of ammo. This one has 1, and you have fired all game, and you haven't even paid for yourselves. I hate the Goblin Rock Lava, and on my campaign and multiplayer artillery tier list video that everybody hated, I said Goblin Rock Labas are trash, and people were like, your whole list is wrong. And I'm like, they're trash, dude. They're trash. They fired all their ammo, and they didn't even pay for themselves. That's shameful. If a ranged unit used all of its ammunition, it should pay for itself 3 or 4 times over. Like, that's the trade-off of a ranged unit, is if you can protect it, it should pay for itself. And Rock Labas just don't do that. I hate them. I think they suck. Hammer of Gork at least provides the debuff, so it's a little more acceptable, but basic Rock Labas are just garbage. All right, the Empire still holds the conquest point, so the Greenskins are gonna have to do something. I understand that they don't want to separate too much and let Boris pick them off, but they do have to approach the point. Otherwise, they're just gonna lose due to not having the point. Orc Shaman takes about 200 damage from that Searing Doom, so kind of unfortunate he ended up in the middle of it. Boris is lurking nearby. Pistoliers still harassing. Gotten 700 value. Even though we all saw that fermented fungi that should have killed him. We all saw it. War Wagons firing away. And it looks like York Shaman is throwing out a quick here we go that'll hit a lot of his army on his way out. He knows he's doomed. He's going to leave him behind a spell. But unfortunately, they're not engaging. I know they're getting kited, but like they do need to just run to this point and take it, because that's your only hope. Like getting kited out, you're getting shot, so standing around isn't going to help you, unfortunately. They hurry up to the point. Pitter patter, let's get at her as the Pistoliers kill off the Orc Shaman. It's not like they take a global debuff. I think they're starting to get over the fact their Lord is dead. Yeah, these Goblins don't have a Lord is dead debuff. So the Lord is dead debuff is entirely gone. These Greenskins are just chilling. Now that's still crazy low leadership Greenskins. As they're getting shot at, they're still thinking about routing. The Swamp Things turn around, gonna fight some Pistoliers. Pistoliers gonna run away. In the late game, the Swamp Things have terror, so they won't terror right away from Boris, but they also provide terror against all these other super wounded things. Boris is diving in onto already wounded goblins. Immediately they take flight. Terror routes, regular routes. It is a mass route in from the greenskins, and the Swamp Things try to dive in onto the unbreakable night goblins as kind of a last bastion of strength. Take Boris down to about half HP, and he does have to run away. Now Pistoliers are also getting churned up. If Army Losses doesn't hit the greenskins, stand a chance. Halberdiers fighting in here too. 70 seconds left before the Empire just wins off the capture point. We do have Halberdiers holding off these guys. The Swamp Things end up getting bogged down in other Halberdiers. They are turning around, trying to get back here to go fight Boris, who lands on them yet again. Their leadership's getting real low. 8 leadership, keeping the Swamp Things in at 5. They can't terror out, but they can normal route. As they're getting rear charge around for stuff, they all of a sudden route. Army Losses takes hold, and the Empire will win. Boris 1600 value, Gold Wizard about 1100. Halberdiers did fine. Great Swords not as much. They just didn't get to fight what they wanted to. And then we have War Wagons, Pistolers did fantastically. For Zesty, his Hero Corps did their jobs. They did okay. Goblins did their jobs. They did okay. Spinning Loons got some decent kills in there. Orc Our Boys did fine. One of the Night Goblin Squid Coppers just got murdered by the Pistoliers, the ones in the distance, because they never got into melee. And the Savage Orc War Boys did fine. Goblin Rock Club was kind of disappointed a little bit. GG. Very close game.
Subscribe, yes, yes.